Good afternoon, everybody. It's my pleasure to be connecting with you this afternoon to share information and resources for in our communities, the communities that the Foothill Workforce Development Board serves and the region in regards to resources available and connection to resources for all those who've been impacted by furloughs or layoffs due to the current COVID situation. We're all in it together. This is a rough time, but this too shall pass. We are usually boots on the ground. We are among everybody trying to do this and touching you and filling your paperwork and doing all that. Times have changed for a while, but we would like you to know that the Foothill Workforce Development Board and all its partners are still available for you. We are all still working. You can reach us via phones, emails, and through our general website that I will connect you and give you information on for, at the end of this presentation. So for those of you who are connected and for those who are coming in, if you have any questions, everybody is going to be put on mute because we cannot imagine over 37 people talking at the same time. I have a couple of speakers who will talk on, one will talk on financial services. Tina Kamling will be doing that information. And then we have the recent updates for covered California. And I have Jane Wilkins, Reese Wilkins, who's going to be joining us in a little bit to do the information on that. We will be sharing a PowerPoint presentation. I will walk you through the PowerPoint presentation. And basically, we're going to open up with unemployment insurance information. Unfortunately, the state of California was not able to join us today, but I will share as much as I know with you in regards to unemployment insurance, the general highlights of it, and I will provide you with a link where every question or any question that comes to your mind is answered on this link. I will provide you with phone numbers if you like to call, and how to access your UI, whether you want to apply or ask questions. We'll make as much of this information available for you. At the end, we will look at the chat and we will see what kind of questions we got. We will try to address as much as we can to the best that we can. Any questions we don't have the answers for, you have our commitment to come back to you and provide you these answers. So long story short, we're gonna move to a we're gonna share the screen for you for a PowerPoint presentation. And usually when we are boots on the ground and we're doing that, we refer to ourselves as the rapid response team. Still are the rapid response team. We are the team who comes on when there is a layoff with an employer in any of the cities we serve as Foothill Workforce Development Board or as a region in Southern California. This team consists of people, okay, I have to control this, all right. So let me tell you usually who is on the team. The team usually consists of our staff, which is the Foothill Workforce Development Board. We are one of 7 boards in Southern California. We are funded by the state, and what happens is that we come out and provide services that I will talk about later on in the presentation. The Employment Development Department is the key partner usually in these presentations because they bring in information on how to file for unemployment insurance and everything that comes with that. We found throughout the years that financial advising is a key issue for most people. So we have partnered with people in the community who are financial advisors, and we come across this one person who does it just because she loves to serve her community. We thank her for that. By no means we are promoting one financial advisor or one financial entity over the other. is just we pick Tina today because of her big heart and her proven work with us during major layoffs in the city of Pasadena and other cities. Also, we found that's imperative today to have Covered California with us on this video, on this Zoom call, to present to you all the latest updates in regards to COVID-19. So we will bring forth that. Also, usually one of our partners is the Department of Labor. They're not with us today because COBRA is not in the play right now, because we have not gotten to a point where people have been separated permanently to worry about what are the next steps. But for people who are on part-time work, who do not have insurance, we're gonna go over what is available for them as far as Covered California. Unemployment insurance, I wanna start with that. I know people have a lot of questions. Like I said, please feel free to chat or message your questions. We already have one question that we will address. Unemployment benefit is temporary income that is provided for people who were separated from the jobs due to a fault of not their own, which is the situation with COVID. This is not a total replacement of your salary. This is temporary wage replacement. And the way it's calculated, I wish I can tell you the formula on top of my head, but I can't, because depending how much money you make in certain quarters in the year prior, this is how it is calculated. Unemployment insurance in the state of California can vary from $45 a week to $450 a week. It is a supplement to your income until you return back to employment, or this current situation has subsided. One thing, there's a myth about unemployment insurance. Well, it's money I paid, and how come I'm not getting this, and that? Unemployment insurance is funded by the employer tax. This is the one thing. It's not like medical insurance. It's not like disability. It's not like anything else that we as employees paid into. This is money paid by the employer on our behalf. It is not a payroll deduction from your paycheck, so that's why we are not, it's the employer. When we file for unemployment insurance, usually the first week when we file is what they call a waiting period. That means the first check you get from the Employment Development Department will be, you will certify for 2 weeks, but you will get paid for 1 week, because always the first week is a waiting period. Due to COVID-19, this waiting period has been taken out. So there will be no waiting period. When does your claim begin? Your claim begins on the Sunday of the week that you apply. So if you get online today and you apply for your unemployment insurance today, your claim will begin yesterday, the Sunday of the week, the beginning Sunday of the week. So this is how the weeks go. The weeks go from Sunday to Saturday, then from Sunday to Saturday. And I explain this to the best as I can as we go on. How can you file for unemployment insurance? I know there's gonna be a lot of questions that we're trying to go online. We cannot continue our application. We're trying to call by phone. Nobody picks up the phone. Honestly, this is what it is. There's millions of people applying for unemployment insurance benefits, and what's happening that EDD, the Employment Development Department, we know for sure they are doing everything they can. They deployed all their power into filing for unemployment insurance. So one way to file is an online application. You go to edd.ca.gov You don't have to put the rest of all of this in there. If you just go to EDD, it will tell you right now there's a big button that says file for unemployment and all the information included in that. Filing online is a two-step process. First, you have to register and it will guide you through it. You have to have an email and a phone number or an iPhone or some type of computer where you can access your email. You need an email to be able to communicate faster in regards to your unemployment insurance. If you do not have an email, please have someone help you create one so you can move faster. By phone is an 800 number. As you can see, there is an English, there's Spanish, Cantonese, Vietnamese, and we know there is other multiple languages. Can you get through? Yes, you have to be very patient. You have to continue hanging up and calling. Another question we have is that, can I do a paper application? They are not encouraging paper application. It is my understanding is that they're attending to phone calls and online first, but that is an option that is available to you. You can go on the website and download the paper application, and it will give you information if you want to mail it in through the US mail or if you want to fax it in. So what do you need in order to file for unemployment insurance? Like I said, first, if you're filing online, and the best way to do it is to have an email address. You need your correct social security number. You need a complete name, mailing address, phone number of your last employer. You need the date you last physically worked. And I want to talk about that. Some of us have multiple jobs. Let's say I work for the city of Pasadena 30 hours and I work at Chevron station 10 hours a week. When you are filing unemployment, the employer you were last physically at, not the employer where you made the more money or you have more hours. The place where you last physically worked. So if yesterday I worked till 6 o'clock for the city of Pasadena, then from 7 o'clock to 10 o'clock, I worked at the Chevron gas station. And today I'm filing for unemployment insurance. Chevron would be my last physically work. Do not worry about, well, do they know how much money I have, how they're gonna calculate the money? Through the question in your unemployment insurance, there is a section where they will ask you to guesstimate how much money you made in certain periods. If the employer is reporting your wages correctly, then this money will be in there. What the state tries to see if you have been fairly treated and your money is reported. Let's say the money is not reported, you will have the opportunity to prove, the money that you have made through check stubs, direct deposit, whatever. You will cross that bridge once you get there. I hope you don't. And if the group who are on today, you think it will be beneficial for you, I'm willing to walk you maybe later on this week or next week through how to file online for unemployment insurance. Okay? They will ask you on these, the specific reason you are no longer working, you are being laid off, or loss of work or no more work. Any of these reasons is fine. Anywhere you can find, if you can insert a reason, put COVID-19. These specific applications, unemployment applications, have one more page to them now. Everything is being handled as disaster relief, which means there is a page on your unemployment insurance where it's gonna ask you specifically disaster questions. It's gonna ask you, did you lose your job due to a disaster? and you say yes, and it's going to ask you, what is the disaster? This is considered public health disaster. It will ask you if your job required you to move throughout the county. You say yes, and you have to specify that you are in LA County. So when you apply for unemployment insurance, what should you expect? Expect to get, excuse me, everything by mail, snail mail. You might get a confirmation in your email that you have completed your application. You can use that link later on to check on the status. But what's going to happen is that you will receive the following in the mail. EDD will send you a guide that has all the information and answers all your questions. Trust me when I tell you, 99% of the questions, if you read your guide, whether online or through the booklet they're going to send you, you will find your answer. They will tell you how your money was calculated. You can figure out what is your weekly benefit. If you are getting commission, do you report it or don't you report it? How about tips? How about severance pay? How about holiday pay? All of this is answered in these booklets. They send you the form to make sure that all the information that you submitted is correct. If there is any discrepancies on your application, they will notify you that they will give you a call. Also, they will send you instructions for UI online, how to register for job search on CalJobs, and they will send you information on the continued claim form. I'm gonna stop here just for 1 minute to explain to you what continued claim form is. When you file, excuse me 1 second, please. When you file for unemployment insurance and you get all this information, every 2 weeks you have to complete what they call a continued claim form. It will give you information for this week, let's say 4/5 to 4, whatever Saturday's date is. Did you look for work? Were you able to accept work? Did you refuse work? It has 5 to 6 questions on it. You answer these questions with a yes or a no. If you are working part-time, you must report your gross wages on the claim form week by week, whether you were paid or not. These claim forms you will receive, you will send out. How are you gonna get paid? I'm gonna go to the next page, see what it says. Oh, this is the letter that you're gonna receive. It will tell you when the claim begins, when it ends, what is your maximum benefit amount. It gives you all this information. And down there under number 10 and 11, it will show you which are the names of the employers and how much money you made in a particular quarter, and it will identify for you those quarters. Now, if you see that some money is not being reported, you have the chance to talk to them and say, hey, I have more money. And if you have more money in a certain quarter when the claim is based on, definitely your weekly amount will increase. Okay. In order to collect unemployment insurance, the situation right now, and I'm going to tell you, and this is what I heard, I've been working alongside this unemployment insurance filing for since March, and everything that right now is on a fast track, okay? Nobody's being hung up if you have a misspelling or if you have something that does not make sense. Everybody, they're doing their best to qualify as many people as possible with the amount of information they have, and then following up to complete certain applications. But in order to receive your benefit payments, you must certify each week to receive these payments. Like I said, you're going to receive in the mail a form that says this is your continued claim form that you need to complete. You have to have a valid claim to collect unemployment insurance. That means the time has not elapsed and you all just filed. So I'm assuming, everybody's going to be in good shape. So one thing I want to talk to you about, the delay. Yes, there is a delay. How are you going to get paid? No checks will be cut. Everything is done through a debit card. Once your claim is processed and ready for payment, you will receive a Bank of America debit card. You don't have to be a Bank of America, a client. You don't have to have an account with Bank of America. This is like a live Visa. You can use this card anywhere. You can withdraw money. You can withdraw all your money out of that card if this is how you choose, or you can use it as a Visa card to pay off your bills, to do whatever you need to do with it. But no cash will exchange hands. You will not be getting a check in the mail. You will be getting a debit card issued by Bank of America, and every time you certify, the money goes on that credit card. There's a lot of questions about what about the extra money that through the stimulus from the federal government. I can speak very briefly on that because I have not done research, but there is a stimulus coming out of the federal government to assist people with unemployment insurance. The amount that is being spoken about right now is additional $600 a week per participant. We are hoping that this is what's gonna materialize. As the information come in and as this thing becomes a solid fact, which will become a solid fact, it's just the amount, don't quote me on the 600 additional weekly benefits, but please continue to check our website where we will continue to give you this information. And okay, so let's move on to the second one. Okay. This website is all unemployment insurance answers are in one place regarding the coronavirus. Okay, so if you like to write this down, or even if you just go on the state website at www.edd.ca.gov, it will prompt you into that if you read a little bit. All answers regarding unemployment insurance, regarding if there's any employers on the line, regarding filing WARN notices. The governor has issued a directive that employers at this point, they do not have to file WARN notices. There is information about how to report taxes, how to get in touch with the department if you need to. So the information on this website answers all your unemployment insurance related question. If you were laid off due to the current health situation, and if you're an employer, also a lot of your questions are answered on this particular website. Okay, so moving on, I'm gonna bring the this down a little bit, and I wanna see if Ms. Jane is online. I love these days. You can talk and call and.
OK。对，就是我帮你就全部弄了。
Jane, are you on?
对。
Hear me?
对，那费用就是包含在那里，在就帮你弄就好了。对，比较麻烦的是。
While we wait for Jane to go on, I want Tina to wait. This is Tina Kamling. Tina is gonna walk us through very important financial matters that you are facing right now. What is happening to your 401k, how to deal with your expenses, and how to move forward as far as, can you share the screen before you go, please? So hi, Tina. We're
Hi.
going to give you the floor in a minute. We're bringing your slides up. Thank
Okay.
you, everybody, for your patience.
All right.
Oh,
Hi, everyone.
because we unmuted everybody. Okay, just hold
So I
on
think-
1 second.
Okay.
Okay, Tina.
Yes. Hi, everyone. My name is Tina Kameling, and I'm one of the partners that works with Foothill Workforce. And of course, we have been doing this program for many, many years now. But of course, being that we're in a special time with this crisis on top of, being unemployed or being laid off, it just definitely magnifies the situation. But there are a lot of information that needs to be understood because, of course, financial concerns are definitely on top of people's minds right now. If you get laid off and then you have this whole pandemic happening, health concerns and all of that, of course, the next questions in your mind would be like, how am I going to be able to pay my bills? What about my mortgage? What about my car? What about my utilities and all of that? And of course, your 401k that comes along with everything. And you're thinking, should I try to touch that asset, et cetera, et cetera. So in just the next few minutes, I'll just try to shed some light for you guys. And of course, even though we're not able to provide the whole picture and the whole clarification within that short period of time, you can always reach us directly. And in this slide here, it has my direct contact with my email and my phone number. Okay, going on. With regards to assessing your financial situation, even before this whole coronavirus, for people that have been dislocated or been laid off, the first thing is like, what's going to happen next? And of course, the best thing to do is to assess your financial situation. And I understand that the current situation is overwhelming, but that's, again, why we're here to help you and guide you. Think of us as like your financial doctors or your personal trainers in terms of finances, and being able to guide you so it's not too overwhelming for you, because you guys are definitely in that situation. It's important to have a budget, and definitely, especially in this time that we're in right now, any type of resources that you guys can get your hands on, and I'd be more than happy to help you. Things like, for example, deferment on your mortgage, or the moratorium for your rent, or forbearance on your certain other debts that you may have. Now is the time to contact this institution, because if you guys have noticed already, if you are going online or your app on your phone, there's like the COVID resources, COVID-19 resources, and sometimes it's as easy as just clicking here and there. And I can share you some of my own personal situation and how easy it was to just at least not to worry for the next 3 or 4 months. And but we'll talk about that more on one-on-one as to how you might be able to do it, because of course the most important thing is cash flow or reserves at the moment. I don't want to spend too much time on that, and but like I said, I want to be able to give you some information individually. Let's go on to the next slide. Okay, so as JB has mentioned, I'm a financial advisor here in Pasadena, California. I am a New York Life agent, and that's the broker-dealer that I have my license with right now. And I, whenever I help people when it comes to their 401k questions or their retirement questions, there are no charges or fees in, talking to me or meeting with me. Of course, nowadays it's all virtual, and I'd be more than happy to answer any questions that we have. As you know, there's a lot of changes that's happening. It's almost kind of like by the minute. Definitely sometimes it seems like it's by the day. But this is the most, the latest information that we have gathered, from Washington as of March 2020, that end of March 2020. So let me back up for a second here. When it comes to your 401k plans or any of your retirement plans, you may have some SEP plans if you are a business owner, or an IRA plan, which is just an individual or your individual retirement accounts. All of these are your retirement assets. Now, normally, there are definitely taxes and penalties that comes along with these things depending on the action that you take. So in that first point where it says penalties may be reduced or waived. Normally, if you are under 59.5, and this was the previous rule, that if you were to access the money from your 401ks, then there would be a 10% penalty on top of the taxes. But for now, for a limited time, and we don't know what limited time that is, penalties may be reduced or may be waived. That all depends on the institution that your money might be with. When it comes, so that's the penalty, and that's normally a 10% penalty. So in other words, they're talking about waiving potentially that 10% penalty. The taxes will not be waived, will not be deferred or anything like that. Definitely something that needs to be paid. So that is another thing that you need to consider before making some sort of an action. That next bullet point where it says rules on 401k loans will be relaxed, meaning if you are still with the current employer and you are still employed and you still have the 401k, in other words, not laid off yet, there may be some loan provisions that you can take out, and the limits on that have been raised up to at least $100,000, I believe. And then because it's a loan, that means you have to pay it back. Otherwise, there are penalties and taxes. But now they have, quote, unquote, relaxed it, meaning that they have extended some of these provisions depending on, again, the type of plan that you have. If you, on that third bullet point, you know, it has been, the rule has been stated to all of these financial institutions that if you were to do a distribution and say it's coronavirus related and it's loosely based right now and loosely identified or defined right now, whether you have it or because of financial hardship, if you just mentioned coronavirus related distribution, then they could potentially waive some of these charges. And then that fourth bullet point where it says raising the limits on allowable amounts and withdrawals. Again, putting in perspective that these 401k plans, specifically 401ks, could be 403bs as well. These are all retirement assets that normally are all taxable. It will still be taxable, even though amidst this whole crisis and everything, because taxes just is something that needs to be paid. But they're making some flexible adjustments in order to help people during this tough times. The payments could be extended because a lot of times it's like you have to pay it with your own employer for 5 years. But if you have been laid off, then you usually you have to pay it back right away. But I think that has been extended to maybe 3 years. And again, all of these rules that we're bringing to you are things that we have heard, and it has been changing. And of course, we're all in this together, so everyone is figuring this out. The bottom line of it all is that you have to take action with caution, and that's what was on this page 2. We have to use guidance of a professional, such as myself, before making a decision, because yes, it will severely impact your financial future. Like I've said, the taxes is not going to be deferred or waived or anything like that. So if you were to take money out now on your 401k and you're far from retirement, or even you're at retirement and you take a big chunk out, it's like mortgaging your future, for the future. So don't do that unless you have other options. So again, I encourage you to reach out to me, and I'd be more than happy to help you and walk you through and call the institution with you so that you can make the right decision. So when it comes to the options that you have, normally it's the 4 options, which is 1, distribution in cash, meaning you take the money out, you take care of the taxes, whether it's now or later. And when we say later, it's the year after. So in this time, it would be 2021. There might be payments, extension, et cetera, but distribution in cash is definitely is one of the options. Number 2, keeping it in your current plan. But again, talking about the crisis that we have right now, the other thing that we have to be concerned about is the market volatility, because things are going down. So it depends on what age you might be in, how much assets you might be there, might be having there, or what are your retirement goals in terms of age or time horizon. We need to put that strategically and make your allocations the appropriate allocations. And again, I can help you with that. Or number 3 is roll it over into your new employer, if you have your new employer. If you don't have your new employer yet, that brings us to the 4th option, which is rolling over into your own IRA account. IRA stands for Individual Retirement Account. By doing the 2nd, the 3rd, and the 4th option there are no taxable event when you do those rollovers or keeping it in place. But again, the strategy is making sure it's properly allocated. Depending on the type of investor you are, you might be more on the conservative side and do not want to participate in the craziness of the stock market right now. There are some guaranteed options for you, and those are the things that I can share with you. Or if you're still young and you're thinking, okay, this might be an opportunity for you, you've heard of the term buy low, sell high. So buying low right now is basically the time that we're in. So you can, continue to be aggressive. And again, given that you have a good amount of time horizon, like 10 years or 15 years or 20 years, that is, in a condensed version, the information that I wanted to share with you. But again, please feel free to reach out to me. I think it's better than an 800 number. And since everyone is working from home, you'll have like a 30, 40-minute wait time, sometimes more than that. So you can definitely reach out to me. The phone number is there, or I'll put my information on the chat screen here, and text me, email me, and I'd be more than happy to help you.
Thank you, Tina. And all the information, all the contact information, this particular PowerPoint will be posted on our website, fwdbworks.org, under the newsletter. Also, we will make it available we will email it to all the people who came online if we have information on them. Now I want to go to Jane.
All right, can you hear me?
We can hear you.
Oh, good. Okay.
Okay, we want to thank you, Jane. Again, we are wave, so people can see you. Hi, Jane.
Okay.
She's wonderful. She's been with us to Rapid Response. Thank you for serving the community. We know there's other Covered California agents out there. This is who always come through for us. So we want to thank you for sharing your information. If you have a Covered California person closer to your proximity, please feel free to use them. And I'll give the mic now to Jane to go ahead and go through what we have in store for Covered California.
Okay. So Covered California, as of March 20th, they opened up a special enrollment for everyone that needs health insurance that didn't have it prior to this little tragedy. But of course, when you're on unemployment, you automatically qualify for a special enrollment, okay? So, and I just want you to know that all services that have to do with COVID-19 are free of charge. So you can take me to the next slide. Am I able to click on? Okay, there we go. So Covered California is the answer to COBRA. No one should be on a COBRA plan because it's way too expensive. With COBRA, you're not allowed to, in most cases, you can't change your plan. Covered California, you can change your plan and the price is so much lower, okay? Covered California actually pays a portion of your premium. I don't know if you knew that, but there's a lot of factors involved. It depends on your household, of course, your dependents, and it depends on your income, your zip code, all those factors go in it. But depending on your income, If you don't have any income, you go to Medi-Cal. If you're making over a certain amount, and I will show those statistics later, then you will be able to get a Covered California plan, and Covered California will pay a portion of your plan. So COBRA, it does not make sense to be on it because it's way too expensive. I had a client the other day. She was actually laid off her job. Her COBRA plan was going to be $900, and Covered California, the plan that I put her on, was only $475, and it was the exact same plan. So okay, we can move on. So in order to qualify for Covered California, you must be a citizen, national, or lawful present immigrant, okay? So just for example, a family of one, now these figures are just sort of baseline numbers. They're not written in stone because there's a lot of variables that go into it. And in fact, once I do your quote and I do the enrollment, sometimes it will come out maybe $1 or $2 cheaper or $1 or $2 more, okay? So just for example, let's say you're a family of one and you're making under $17,237, I'm gonna put you in Medi-Cal. But if you're making over that figure, depending on your income, your dependents, then Covered California will pay for a portion of your premium. Okay, so, but again, each person is different. Each person has a different situation. So if you want to contact me, you can give me your household income. If you're self-employed, it's a net that I'm looking for, your net income I'm looking for. And we do the quote for free, and we do the enrollment, and we do everything online. So it's a very simple process. I do the enrollment for you, so you don't have to be stressed out about that. But the great part about it is that it does pay a portion of your premium in most cases, especially if you're on unemployment. Okay, so my information is there. And if you have any questions, I'll be on. If you want to call me, feel free. So that's it.
Okay. Thank you, Jane, for that. Thank you. Okay, so I have a few questions over here. I'm gonna go through them. There's questions that are common to a lot of people. I have multiple questions regarding the 1099 employees, people who are their own contractors. Do we qualify? We try to apply. There's no option to do that. Ooh, the best way is go online under EDD, and it will walk you through how to apply. If I was an independent contractor, I'm gonna pick up this phone, call the 800 number, and have somebody walk me through it. Are independent contractors eligible for unemployment insurance in this time, in this situation? Yes, they are, but depends on what kind of business. Also, gig employees are eligible for like people who drive Ubers and the gig economy type of positions. Excuse me. Okay, I have a couple questions regarding is there a gap type coverage as part of CARES? For those who are working part-time, whose hours are cut down, yes, you are eligible to file for unemployment insurance. Go ahead and do that. They will prorate your weekly benefit amount depending on how much money you are reporting every week. The good part is when the federal stimulus comes, the extra money for every week for people who are collecting unemployment insurance, you should be in a good shape. Whether, how the money is calculated, they, I think, calculate on 75% of your weekly income and deduct 25% of that from your weekly benefit amount. You can refer to that and correct me if I'm wrong. Excuse me, I cough because I have allergies and I'm in great health so far. Somebody asked, I studied an online application, but when it asked me specifically what job I performed, the page stopped working. I don't know why the page stopped working, but that's a tricky page because you need to go in there and use all the drop boxes to pick which industry you are in, what specific job. Let's say if you said you were an administrator, it takes you to another prompted drop screen where you have to get more specific what you are. The reason there is this, because usually when people file for unemployment insurance, also they have to be registered for job search. So they want to know who is their clients and who on there and what industries and what kind of positions to assist you with your job search. I have a question here from an employer. It asks, if we place employees on furlough longer than 2 weeks, is it suggested to temporarily lay off the employees instead? We do not have an intention to laying anyone off. If you have more than 50 employees, I highly recommend that you file a WARN notice, even though there's leniency on filing WARN notices, because that is a benefit for your employees, and you can specifically put in there that they are on furlough because of COVID, and because we don't know when the end of this is going to happen. You can write it like that. Should you lay them off? I don't know. That's up to you. I cannot tell you whether it's to stay on furlough. They will get benefits either or, as long as you're not paying them. So they are qualified to get unemployment insurance. A question that is coming up a lot is that if I am collecting some of my holiday pay when I am, during this time, holiday pay is not considered income. So people do not have to report it. So if you are taking holiday, like 5 days holiday, and the employer is paying you this holiday, this is not considered money earned. You are not physically working. You do not have to report it as income. And I know that because I asked that question. I've been asked and I researched it with EDD. What else? Tina Kamling. Hygiene. Is 450 really the limit you can claim? What about the extra 600? Yes, it is. 450 usually is the highest for the state of California. What about the 600? This is the federal stimulus that is coming, and we're all waiting for it to come. So let's say if you're getting $450 a week, you will get on top of that $600. So you will be collecting, if I still do the math, right, $1,050. I would like to be laid off for that too. So, we still have to smile and joke and take things the way they are and continue to live our life and help each other. As far as when does this happen, there is no clarity. I don't know. We don't have clarity either, like you. We are waiting day by day for more news from the governor's office, from Washington. We know there's a huge stimulus that's been put forth. We know it's coming, and when exactly, I don't have that answer for you. I'm so sorry. But what we can do is that the minute we know something, we will post something on our website in that regard. It's not a joke. There is people lives and people are dying. Nobody is making jokes. We know the seriousness of this situation. We know people are dying, and we have to keep high spirit with everything around us and stay strong for ourselves, our families, and everybody else in our communities. We don't take this lightly. We are here on the front lines working and risking, our lives to make sure we get you the information as fast, as quickly as we can. And anything else? Any other questions? Before I part this and we end this meeting, please send us some feedback. If you think this was good, we need more information, how better we can reach out to our communities with this information. The way we did this is that we send this, like I said earlier, we send this via emails to a lot of people. We send it to the chambers. We send it to the cities. City of Pasadena has been, amazing in spreading the news, and in weekly news, Michelle Garrett, Eric Dysart, and their team. Thank you. That we are one department, but now we're all pulling together. As we say at Foothill, many people went one team to bring you this information. Another question is that my case is a bit typical. I'm currently on unemployment. This is my 26th week. Will the 13-week extension apply to me? Yes, the extensions are coming through. Yes, the 600 will apply to you. Once you go, if so, is it automatic? No, it's not automatic. Go online and or get on the phone and talk to somebody. Okay, I highly recommend that to you. Don't assume anything. Nothing is automatic. as far as we are concerned, you have to be proactive, and you have to be very, very patient. Can we post a recording on our website? Who's asking me that? Cheryl Leffman. Of course you can, Cheryl. If you think it's good and we don't need refining it. Another question. It answered many questions regarding it. Thank you. You're welcome. Sorry. Can you send me Jane's email? Yes, we will post it on our website. And the email, can we pull it up? We're going to put Jane's information up one more time for you to look at and write it or screen shoot it.
Can she type it? Can you ask her to type it?
Do you mind typing it, please, so we can read it in the chat? Kathleen, the unemployment telephone lines are always busy. Last week I made on average 170 calls, never got through. That's what everybody's saying. Unfortunately, I'm not the Unemployment Development Department, and all I can do is share information. I think I'm only 2 steps ahead of you because I do the research and I can get you answers. If you have any particular questions, you can send it to info@Foothill FWDB. FWDBworks.org IB, and we will get to you. Just like I said, we're gonna put all that information for you to look at, and we will do it. Like I said, we're not representing the state. We're just in this mix. I've been in this business for many, many years. I've worked on unemployment insurance, and that's why I might have more answers for you than others. But I highly recommend that at any point you contact the unemployment insurance. And I'm gonna send this chat. I'm gonna send it all the way up as I can, that people called 170 times and didn't get through. Jane's email is Jane Reese Wilkins. That's JaneReese EESEWILKINS. That's Jane Reese Wilkins at yahoo.com. Most of our stylists, which are 1099 employees, are denied for unemployment. Reason why? I don't know, but I will check. And who is this? The person who asked me about the 1099 hairstylist, can you please send me a phone number or an email privately so I can answer that question? I don't know why they were refused. Also, Jane from Covered California, phone number is 626-372-9097. Anything else I can help you with? Tina, Jane, and me are here available. I'm gonna unmute Jane and unmute Tina. Unmute on your end too, please.
Yes, I did.
Any questions?
I have a question from my staff here who has a part-time job, and her question is, from the time of application, when is she expecting to receive the Bank of America card?
2 to 3 weeks.
Okay, thank you.
And make sure that, don't panic if you find, I know you need the money yesterday and we know that, but the money will come, even though like they should have paid you last week. And if it didn't come last week, that means you didn't lose on it. The money will come. They will pay you for all the weeks that you certified for. So it's just a slow system. They're finding out that is a slow system. This amount of people applying at the same time nationwide never happened in the history of unemployment insurance. Yes, you are reading everywhere how unprepared our country was for this. So
Yeah, Mike, can you?
I have a question here from Kathleen. Working in the entertainment industry, when we don't make enough hours to qualify for the motion and picture health plan, we normally go on COBRA for a short time. She's currently on COBRA, not sure if I can switch to Covered California plan. Is there any relief for those of us who are on COBRA? Jane.
Oops. She's muted.
Unmute.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, sure there is. All you have to do is put the application in, and then once we have the approval, then you could just cancel your COBRA. So that's not a problem at all. That's not a problem at all. And then for, people can go online themselves and do the application, but you need to do this all the time and you're probably overwhelmed, and I can do the application for you. There is no charge. It's free. It's very simple. So use my services.
So the answer is yes for the COBRA. Mm-hmm. And Kathleen says thank you. Jane, we have another question. I am a sole proprietor of a salon and a hairdresser and file a Schedule C. Can I apply for unemployment? Small business owners, there is a completely different route. Okay, unless you consider an employee and you're paying yourself wages and you're putting yourself on the payroll, I don't think you can qualify for unemployment insurance because you have not paid for unemployment insurance for yourself. But there are multiple stimulus packages for small business owners. Please go on the sba.gov website. Also, the City of Pasadena and City of Duarte and the Small Business Development Centers are all hosting webinars and information what to do as sole proprietors. There are stimulus packages coming out in loan amounts. And my understanding is that for whatever amount of loan you take, the first $10,000 are going to be forgiven. So jump on board and see what the SBA has for you. I hope that answered your question. What if you had benefit card Bank of America from previous material leave? Can we use the same? Yes, if you have a card, they will use the same card that you have. They will ask you that question. Have you ever applied for unemployment insurance, or have you ever applied for disability insurance? Because they use the same type of card. And what they will do, they will reactivate that card and they will fund that card. What else in SBA.gov? Yes. All right. So that's it for today. I hope you found the information very useful. On a good day, as a Foothill Workforce Development Boards, we will have our doors open. You can come to us. We will assist you with your job search. We host seminars on multiple subjects regarding small businesses. We run entrepreneur classes. We offer services if people would like to get into upgrading and training. So in future sessions, as we continue to meet with our communities like this, we will be bringing more information on, and we will be bringing more seminars. Thank you all. Please stay safe. God bless you and your families, and I will talk to you again next week.
All right.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody.